Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining our session today as we explore practical AI in the customer journey. I'm Angel, a product design at Pendula, and I'll be your moderator today. So where are we today with AI? Artificial intelligence is growing at a staggering rate, expected to reach $407 billion by 2027. And we've got more stats showing its projected annual growth will be over 37% over the next 6 years. So with AI being such a critical driver across industries, how can you also leverage AI to drive business growth and truly enhance engagement in your customer journeys? So our industry experts today will be exploring just that through real-world examples and actionable strategies. So let's start from hearing from our panelists. Can you please introduce yourself and also describe the level of AI usage within your organization? So low being just starting, medium being using it throughout the business, and high being experts and leading in AI usage.
Yeah, I'll go first. So I'm Brad. I'm Operational Excellence Manager at BizCover. I've been working at BizCover for 8 years with the sole goal of really creating a world-class customer experience. And in terms of our AI journey, we're probably about a medium. We're playing around with a few different things, trying to implement, trying to get value, and we've got aspirations to really become those experts in AI.
Hey, I'm Michael Lansdowne, Director of CX and Personalisation at Amasim. And yeah, I think I'd have to also go with medium. We're not just getting started, but I think looking at the industry, I think it'd be incredible to claim that we're experts. So yeah, we'd go medium.
Wonderful. Well, it's really great to meet you both. And I thought that with that in mind, I'd like to set the scene. So at the moment, almost every business is experimenting with AI, but a majority are actually not progressing out of the pilot stage. In fact, only 11% of companies worldwide are actually using Gen AI at scale. This number seems odd given just like AI's exponential growth, both now and in the projected future. I'm interested to know why you think this is and what are some common misconceptions businesses have that is preventing them from leveraging AI with their customers.
Yeah, I'm happy to give my thoughts on that one. So I might just start with a bit of a review, right? So I think 2023 was the year every company kind of heard about ChatGPT and AI, and they all went crazy, and every boardroom wanted to implement something. I think what really happened was everyone just dipped their toes into AI, and they tried a small POC. And this year has largely been the year where a lot of companies and a lot of people have gone out there and tried to actually get value from AI, and they haven't really got to that end stage yet. So I think it's largely driven by boardroom perception. I think there's some other misconceptions out there that we need to readdress. So, in my opinion, AI, it's probably not going to replace jobs on scale. I think it's largely going to augment a lot of jobs. It's going to help agents, help people, help customers with what they're already working on, their existing processes. And I think AI is not the AI of old. It's not the modeling that we've seen with things like retention, and it's not things like old school chatbots. We've all had those frustrating experiences online where we're trying to work with a chatbot and it's just not understanding. I think now with things like GPT, there's just so many doors open, and I think it's about really changing the perception of internal and external stakeholders onto what AI can do for us in the customer journey, and then leveraging that as much as you can.
Yeah, you go. Sorry.
No, I was just going to agree. I think ChatGPT gave everybody a highly consumable version of the kinds of things AI can do, and it's something that speaks to every human in human language. So it's highly digestible and available, and I think that just gets people excited. The misconception is that can be quickly applied to your business, and I think the missing step is actually product management 101, which is, what is the use case? What are you actually trying to achieve? And if that is, hey, we want to stand up a team to do some exploration because we're not sure what we want to achieve, we're not sure what's possible, that's also great. But say that instead of mixing that in with some other aspiration. You have to have that clarity up front to say, are we exploring here, or are we actually trying to deliver value by drawing some straight line from this new capability to one of our business objectives? And where you're upfront about that and you do the product thinking upfront is where it's clearer and you get faster results.
Yeah, so I hear a lot about resetting perceptions and also just gaining clarity in general. That seems quite relevant because a recent report actually revealed that over 60% of business owners believe that AI has the potential to improve customer relationships. So for yourselves, do you resonate with this? Is there an example of a successful AI usage with your organization's customer journeys?
Yeah, I think we've definitely had a few. First would be, we had a look at the customer experience and customer satisfaction, and we said, how can we monitor this? And we implemented what we call our pulse check engine. So for every single incoming interaction from a customer across all kinds of channels, emails, SMS, phone calls, contact us forms, surveys, lots of different things. In real time, we're able to have AI analyze that and actually tell us, what's the sentiment? What's the mood of the customer? Are they frustrated with this interaction or this step in the customer journey? What kind of themes are there? What's the intent? What are they trying to achieve? And what kind of recommended actions should we take as part of this? So very quickly, we can understand what they want, how they feel about it, and we can do two key things. We can route any urgent or high priority work items to the right place, so we can prioritize work coming into our business, and we can also automatically flag things that might need manager review. If there's a technical problem that we haven't foreseen, or there's a gap in our processes, or there's a specific issue with this customer that we can help address, we're able to automate all of that. So I think of it as kind of like my my listening device. I can understand in real time how our customers are feeling right now. I can see their pain points. I can see what they're doing well at. And likewise, another one we've gone and tackled is call compliance. So being able to take a transcript of a call and assess it for over 60 plus questions across, regulatory issues, operations, just agent quality and experience, and provide us with the needles in the haystack for call compliance. It's a problem of scale. You can't have thousands of phone calls every week and expect that you're going to listen to all of them, in their entirety. We try to provide the needles in the haystack to the agents so they can spend their time listening to the calls that are actually, need addressing, rather than just listening to good call after good call. So AI is doing a bit of the triaging there for us as well.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, because what we've seen is kind of a question on where the AI innovation is happening. And certainly as a B2C business, selling amazing mobile products, we rely on a lot of vendors to do that. And we've seen every single vendor effectively communicate to us that they have an AI strategy, and here it is. And it's been a fantastic set of conversations to dig into their roadmap, where that's shared ahead of time, and with the real high value partnerships to give feedback on how we could leverage what they're thinking at scale for what we're thinking at scale. So I think a salient example for us is when it comes to contacting customers. And I think this is a fantastic intersection between CX and the developments in AI, because really it is it's a tool that enables you to apply greater respect to your customer's attention. So one way of looking at it is, we can use AI to talk to more people, and that's a horrible way of looking at it. Really, you should use AI to talk to far less people, because the people you're talking to now that aren't interested in your services or products, that's a net negative on both the experience and also the cost to execute that communication. So where I'm most excited is the ability for AI to be really precise about the people that may be interested in offers, and to have a really ethical relationship with that communication and with that customer, to say, we truly believe this product or this service or offer is right for you. And because of the tools that we've used, well, we were able to do that without using any of your attention at all. We've used these tools to identify where we're quite confident that it'll be right for you, and then measure that. And so if we're getting that right more and more, disproportionately getting that right, then customers are only using their attention for the products and services that are right for them. And meanwhile, they don't hear from us at all. And I think that is the most exciting, potentially one of the simplest use cases, but also for me, the one that's going to have real customer impact.
I see how in both your examples, it kind of resonates back to what Brad said a bit earlier about how AI doesn't actually replace jobs, but actually extends and actually improves the whole customer journey process. Something that you touched on as well, Michael, was that using AI ethically. And that's actually segues perfectly into the next question, because a recent survey showed that over 55% of consumers express concerns about businesses using AI. And these concerns are often around customer data privacy and ethical use of AI. So how have your organizations managed these concerns?
Yeah, for us, I'd say two things. I would say, firstly, start off with an internal governance plan on how you're actually going to attack AI, how you're going to implement it, how you're going to use data, how you're going to use it safely, how you're going to review AI and what it's doing to your processes. And, if you ever do end up automating things entirely, how you're going to track that and monitor it. I think that's critical, and take your internal stakeholders on that journey. So your compliance people, your operations people, really get them on board with it, and don't just implement it as an extra channel that bypasses the traditional operational flows and compliance flows. Actually build it into your business. And the second thing is, try to build some explainability into your models. We don't want to just build black box technology where it just spits out an answer, you automate based on that answer, and you're not really want, tracking how this thing's working. So the example, pretty common example is, if you're trying to figure out with AI if you should approve a loan, don't just spit out loan denied and then just move on, or loan approved. Try to get it to actually explain, this was the outcome because of these 5 key reasons, and actually maybe have, humans review it and really become comfortable with why it's making certain predictions, and optimize it and remove things like bias wherever you can. And that's really how you can just have a plan and then action on it, I think, quite effectively.
Yeah, there needs to be some upfront thinking. And I think that's really important, because there are so many unknowns right now. Like the unintended future use of data and algorithms is just that. It's unknown. So you need to have some core guiding principles that you can consistently revert to. And I think, since Brad spoke so well about the internal view, I think it's also incumbent on us to take a very external and international view. So I would encourage everyone to follow what's been happening in the EU. I'm sure many are, but look at other countries and other jurisdictions to how they're thinking through those unintended future consequences, and also the unintended or intended present day harm that may be done with these new technologies. I do sometimes take a simplistic view of it, which is, with any new technology, there are always risks. So it makes me think about, back when everybody was moving their infrastructure to cloud, there was a whole heap of anxiety, and I think the companies that did the most hand-wringing did the worst in the end. So I think you have to be on the front foot, you have to look externally, and have some really clear internal concepts that you can revert to in the case where something new happens. It's 2026, GPT 75X has been released and it's taking over the world. You need something you can go back to say, hey, this is what we agreed on, and here is what has changed with the new evidence.
Yeah, that's really insightful. And it's interesting to know that, despite all these consumer concerns, rather, over 60% of consumers in a recent survey still trust businesses that use AI technology. So that's kind of consistent with what we had discussed. Consumers definitely recognize the potential of AI and how it can improve their own customer experience. So for organizations like BizCover and Amason, how do you envisage AI developing across the various stages of customer journey?
Yeah, I'll again break this out into two things. I think we're probably already at the point of companies thinking AI first. And I would think, a lot of companies out there, when they're having their meetings around how we're going to address this issue or how we're going to seize this opportunity, AI is probably already getting floated as, should we be doing this with AI, or how can we use AI to do this? I think that's probably already happening. And probably likewise on reinventing existing issues. There's how can we reimagine a solution to problems we have today with AI? So it's normally the new projects where you sit down and go, let's dream up an idea. But I think even those just existing business challenges are starting to be reimagined. And secondly, I think we're a lot closer to digital agents being widespread than we think. I think, if anyone's had a look at some of those voice, OpenAI demo videos, I think 2025 is probably going to be the year where that really becomes commonplace, and more companies that you interact with on a daily basis have those kind of digital experiences where you can have a voice conversation and things like that. And I think you'll start to notice it becomes more and more seamless. And the gap between a human interaction and a fully digital agent experience in customer service and things like this will actually be very much closer together.
Yeah, you took one of mine on customer service. Absolutely, I think centralized customer service centers will likely still exist for a long time, but they'll become far smaller and distributed. So already you have many B2C businesses looking at ensuring that the humans at the end of the line are dealing with the most complex cases and need the highest level of customer care. But on the other hand, how can we still provide that incredible service to customers who have simple queries? So we don't want to create two separate worlds where a simple query leads to a poor interaction despite the query being resolved. And Amasim's been well known for its customer service for a really long time, so it's incredibly precious and important to us and core to our ideal. But I do think that the customer service is being disrupted rapidly, and I think that one of the most exciting and to me the most feasible approaches, and we're seeing it in many other industries, is the proactive solve. So if you see a customer is unable to activate and doing a proactive contact. The other thing I think is it hasn't happened as much as I thought it would, and I feel like any minute it will. Is just the ease with which companies can regionalize into new markets. So if you have a really powerful proposition in say pick any country, say in Japan, it's near trivial for all of their customer facing comms to be turned into any other language, and for us to have a company owned in another country to launch in another jurisdiction. I think that will happen increasingly and lead to more globalization of products and propositions. Sorry.
Yeah. I see. Then throughout the whole customer journey process, the customer continues to be like the first and foremost of importance, and then AI is supporting that, and that's just about the growth in how AI can help. So with that kind of brings us to the end of today's panel. A huge thank you to both Brad and Michael for sharing your experiences and also your insights, and obviously to everyone else who's joined us. So we've heard firsthand from Michael and Brad about how AI is solving problems practically, and also how to balance ethical usage of AI versus driving business growth through meaningful customer experiences. We've hoped you've had some huge takeaways from today's session. Thank you again, and enjoy the rest of your day.